Just a bit of a heads up here. The first 14 minutes of this video really doesn't do anything on the hood. Now, if you're a camera buff, you'll find it interesting. Or if you're wondering why it is I'm calling the videos what I'm calling them, you'll find it interesting. Otherwise, you might want to just sort of scrub ahead and get into the build, which probably isn't going to be all that much. Okay, where do we start here this morning? I'm getting comments quite regularly about the way I number my episodes. Some people think that what I should have done is when I started the hood, I should have started out from number 1 again. To me, this whole series is about building a model ship. So we are at episode, well, today is 566? Yeah, I think today is 566. So I might be wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. But to me, the series is staying the same. It's all about building a model ship. So we started at number 1, and even though we're doing a different ship, it's the model ship. It's a model ship. And I know sometimes I go way off on a tangent and include something like going on a trip to Superstore or feed the rabbits or something like that. But it's still basically, I would say 90% about building a model ship. Today might be a little less because I want to talk about something else here. We will, get these little parts on our ship here. I turned it around so we can work on this side now. However, yeah, I'm going to keep on numbering the episodes the way they are. I'm not going to change it. I know that possibly to some people that's a little bit confusing, but to me, it's not confusing. It makes sense to me. So that's why I do it the way I do it. Now, in the past, and I've been doing this for a few years now, I have the fun of, and it's fun for me, to use 2 cameras at the same time. I'll take this camera here, and I'll mount it on a tripod, and I'll set it off somewhere in the distance, and then I'll try to blend the 2 videos together. So you get a shot of me working on the ship from a distance, and you can see maybe the camera is set up here. Then you'll actually see what the camera is seeing as well. Well, you know how I do it. About 2 or 3 months ago, this camera, it's only done it, I believe, 3 times. You'll set it and you'll start to record, and for no reason at all, it seems to stop. Now this is something that just recently started, and I'm thinking, what do I do? Do I replace this, or I took the video card out of it, and I completely formatted it, and I put the video card back in. And yesterday's shot, it ran fine, but then it's run fine most of the time before, so maybe formatting the video card had nothing to do with it. It might be something with the camera, but I thought maybe the card was getting kind of corrupted because it's being used over and over and over again. It's just my thinking. It's just, who knows? However, this morning I thought, hey, wait a minute, I just bought that dash cam, and it shoots in 4K. I haven't tried it in 4K yet. When we went to Superstore, we were running it in 2K, and the reason being is because at 2K it runs at 30 frames a second. And hey, notice my expensive high-tech camera bag here. Anyway, but at 4K it only runs at 25 frames a second. That's the best it'll do, 4K 25. Now the camera that's videoing right now that I use most of the time, it does 4K 30. Now, is my software going to be able to automatically speed the file from this one up to match that one? I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But I was thinking, it came with an extra adapter, or rather, I guess you call it an adapter. I haven't taken it out of the bag yet. A lot of the stuff I do, I actually do for the first time. So that's why it looks kind of unrehearsed, because it's unrehearsed. Anyway, I've got this thing here that I could probably mount onto something, and I don't see why this couldn't be made to, put it on something. Right now, there's a suction cup on there that sticks on the windshield. And it seems to work okay. Just get this off here. This is not a 1/4x20 thread like most camera bases are. It's something special. Anyway, I could use this, make up a little stand, but let's just try it here and see how would it work. It's I guess it goes like this. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. So I'm going to try it here now, and I do a lot of experimenting in these episodes. I talk about what I'm thinking about at the time. Got a comment from a viewer. I think it was in yesterday's episode. He said something about I waste a lot of time, and he ends up fast forwarding through it. Well, I think I commented back, well, thanks for watching what you did, and I meant it. I understand that my style does not appeal to too many people. If it did, this show would go viral, and it's not. It's just not that popular. But some people like the way I do things, and some people don't. Most people don't, probably, obviously. But that's okay, because if it was huge, like there's a guy here I used to watch here in Canada, and he used to have thousands of views every time he put something up. He was really popular. But I was under the impression he wasn't able to answer all the comments. I don't even know if he got to read them all. Whereas this little show we got going here, it's small enough that I can read every comment, and usually, if nothing else, put a thumbs up on it to let the viewer know that, hey, I read your comment, and I do. If it gets really big, it's just too big for me. I'm just doing this, as I've said before, for the fun of it. Now, let's see if I can't just mount this on something, and will the 4K 25 frames a second match up in my software, my editing software, with the 4K 30 frames a second that camera's doing right now. Okay, about an hour has passed now. I just came up from my workshop and I had to make up a little adapter. Now the problem was, where I guess you call it the tripod mount on this camera, is actually on the top. In other words, the thing is designed to be hung, not supported from the bottom. So there was just no way I could get this piece here to fit on here somehow. Well, I could have shaved the sides down and then it would have clamped in place, but then the camera would have been held upside down. So what I've done is I've made up this thing out of a piece of scrap wood. And yeah. And I haven't actually tried it. Let's see, I guess it'd be smart to put the camera on first. Very gently here so I don't break anything. Everything is so much more delicate than what I'm used to. Okay. Well, I can tighten that up later. Okay, now it's hanging the right way. Now then, this should fit in here like this. We'll tighten this down. Now is this going to work? I think so. Excuse me. Okay, let's see here. Go like that. I'm going to want to be able to aim it down a little bit, so maybe I should have made this wooden piece a little longer. Can I aim it down here now? Oh yeah, that should be alright. Alright, now there is a drawback with this camera in that it's every time I want to get a file out of it, I have to remove this little tiny, this mini SD card, and it's my big clumsy fingers, they just, I know you're supposed to poke it with your fingernail and pull it out. Then I have to put it in an adapter on my computer to get the video file out of it. And I suppose every time I do this is one less time it's going to work. At least that's the way I look at it. Now, fortunately, I'm not going to be doing this sort of thing, every day. But it gives me something different to do here. Now this should go down like this because you don't want it flapping around in the wind. Okay, I don't see why that shouldn't work. Well, let's try it out and see if our 25 frames per second can be adjusted to match the 30 frames per second that we're shooting right now. I'm pretty sure I can do that. Okay, another little problem that I just thought of here, and that is that to power this thing up, it comes with a little short cord here. The other one is in the car already. And this USB thing, it puts out 5 volts. This camera will operate off either 5 volts or 12 volts in the car. And right now I've got the camera programmed in such a way that if I was to put power to it, it automatically will boot up and start recording right away, which is a good feature because that means you can switch your car off and it stops and saves the video, and then when you get back in and start the car up again, it'll record onto a new file. But this cord that I've got right here, okay, it looks like it's the same size. It looks like the same one. And I think if I just carefully try it here, this big long cord that I've got, well, it's not big long, it's maybe only 3 feet, but it's what I use for my handheld microphone. That's just going to work. That's the wrong way. Come on, Ron, you should know better than that. Now, very gently here because I don't want to force anything. Well, it went in like that. Alright, now we unplug it into one of these outputs here. Now, this thing here, excuse me, I got this from B&H Photo about 6-7 years ago. It's rechargeable. The idea is you're supposed to be able to charge your cell phone off of it several times. And I used to take it with me when I went on the bus to visit my mom in Kelowna. Okay, let's just see what's going to happen here. Put the screen so you see it. I'll turn it on, and hopefully it's going to go. Here we go. Oh, it's on. Mind you, it's not recording. Oh, there it goes. It's recording now. See a little red light blinking there. It's got the screensaver is set so that it turns off after about 10 seconds. But it should still be recording. Anyway, I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go take it to the computer right now and just see if this is going to work. Well, why? I know it works. I wanted to see if it's compatible with this camera. Oh, one more thing. Now, when the power goes off in the car, it's got a little built-in battery that'll last for a little while. It should automatically want to save the file and shut down. Yeah, it did. Okay. Okay, we're recording on both cameras now. This one is going to be doing the sound, and the other one should be doing sound and picture as well. And we're going to do a sound sync clap right now, poor man's clapperboard. And at the end of this shot, I'm going to do it again, clap again, and we'll just see on the computer if the files stay lined up. Okay, now let's do something with the ship. Okay, one of the viewers had suggested, why don't you take a pair of tweezers and hold the end of... Now, I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know how it's going to go. He says you could hold this. Let's see if I can get myself angled a little better here. Okay, so you hold this with the tweezers, like that, and then you can hold it in the right place, and then just squeeze it. And here it comes. Well, that's not exactly the way I wanted to do it, but that's the story of my life. Okay, now I can take my tweezers and I'll just sort of scrape it off the back there. This one doesn't seem to want to be going down. Oh, I didn't have it on the... There we go. Okay, now that should cure, and all being well, it's in the right place, yeah. Okay, now I'm very anxious to see how this system that we were just talking about works, so I'm going to do my clap again. I got to remember that I'm speaking to the microphone in this camera right here, so I don't want to be shouting. All right, to the computer. I got to remember that I'm speaking to the microphone in this camera right here, so I don't want to be shouting. All right, to the computer. I likely won't be using this camera again when I want to do the two-camera system. And the reason being is I had too much fooling around. It was just too finicky. I had to offset one of the files by about 15 frames. In other words, about half a second. Now the funny thing was it maintained its sync though throughout that 3 minutes that it was running. So I don't know what was going on there. I thought it would slowly get out one way or the other, but it didn't. So maybe my editing program was trying to adjust as best it could. Anyway, like I say, it was just too finicky. Now, for those people who have just started watching here, you may not remember or wouldn't know that for the Bismarck, most of the time I had a needle that I had cut the head off of, and what we used to do is we would dip it into a little bit of CA glue that I had in one of these little container things, and then we would apply it in the right place, and that seemed to work out really, really well. I'm probably going to go back to that again, and I don't know if you can see it there, but it's yeah. Now that first 15 minutes or so of that today's video, I think a lot of people would think, well, that was sure a big waste of time, Ron. But to me, that was fun. You know, I found that very interesting. So the videos can't always be interesting to everybody all the time, but I can, you know, rest assured I won't be doing that very often. Now, let's just put a little on here, and then we'll take this thing and put it in place. Now, just a little bit. Now, how am I going to pick that up? Let's try and get it in the right spot to start with. I do believe that's it. Okay, to that viewer who was making the suggestion, of putting it on the little part, on the base of the little part, and then put it on the deck, that's probably a lot better than what I've been trying to do here for the last couple of days. So, yeah, thanks. No, I was just thinking I don't want to be getting any of this CA on the roof of that. Oh, I think I put too much in there. But you know what? It's going to be completely covered over anyway, so let's see if I want to be able to pick this up without it running out. I'm going to have to get my big finger in your way. Sorry about that. Whoops. There we go. That one didn't go quite as well. I put too much on. You can see there's a little bit of CA right there and there. But like I say, that's okay because this whole thing is going to be covered over with this part here that you can almost see. Now, if you remember when we did the other side of the ship, I ended up putting too much on. I just want to have just a small amount here. Sorry, Tony, your tweezers were just a little bit too wide there. Now, most of these little parts like this, when we did the Bismarck, I set the part in place, and then if you remember, I took the Tamiya extra thin and just put it on the edge there and let it kind of dissolve the paint on the deck. I think that's going to stay in place there once it cures. There's not going to be any reason that, there's nothing going to catch it and pull it off. Okay, this is the last one. I'm just going to do a dry run with it, make sure it's going to fit okay. Oh yeah, it's going to just drop on there really nice. There, hold it like that, that should work. You know what? I'm going to slip on the macro lens. Yeah, this way when I make a mess, you can see it really, really good. There's absolutely no question about how bad I did.
Okay. Don't know if you saw that, but I could see it. It sort of wicked its way down, and you could see it coming out along the bottom of the front there. So that means it's, when that cures, it's not coming off. The little piece that we just put on is right there. And I do believe we're pretty much done here as far as getting little pieces on. In fact, I can't see any pieces that are loose. So that means this has to go this way. Okay, the upper deck goes on, but not until we get it painted. So we're gonna have to decide what are we gonna mask off first. I want to spray the sides of this same color as we painted these with a brush. I'm gonna think about it for a while, and I don't know if I'll paint the sides and then mask the sides and paint. I think maybe the thing to do would be to do the top and then mask off the top. It should be fairly easy, and then spray the sides. Yeah, but we're gonna have to worry about that tomorrow. Yeah, I can't believe how late it is today. I wasted so much time fooling around with that little dash cam. But at least now I know. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.